This is Dragon Ball Daima's episode 7 called Caller. This episode, the opening changed. The bull is gone. So there goes all my theories about the bull being a part of the fucking gang, which is a
Yeah,
fucking
I was
waste.
really excited. I like the bull.
Which is a fucking waste. Why have something cool in this? Why have a different type of character in this show? Why not? Why would we have anything other than humanoids be part of the gang? Why not have a bull? No. So he's gone. That was just a facade. This new intro animation shows the whole gang together, including like Vegeta, Piccolo, and Bulma. So this must be the official final intro now because now everybody's on the demon world, as we'll see in this episode. But yeah, I'm still not really a big fan of this intro or this outro. Like I know a lot of animes make intros that are specific for their show. Like regular cartoons do this, like whatever, Pokemon or whatever. They'll make intros that aren't just songs. But I don't know, man. This one just doesn't. I just don't fuck with this intro.
I like the animation. Like I like this animation like sequence. I'm not the biggest fan of the song. But I do like the closing more than the opening. Both like song and well, I guess I would
Yeah,
say I like the animation better in the opening, but I like the song better in the closing. Um,
yeah.
but yeah.
I'm indifferent on it, but I don't know. Yeah, so in this episode, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Bulma are all bickering about the ship not working because as we saw in the last ending of the last episode, Bulma built the ship and they're about to take off and the ship doesn't work. So,
Do
they're all
like
arguing about it.
no ships ever work in this show. They
Oh,
either
I have
all
a
just
I have a
like
note. Like,
crash out
where's
or they like
where's my
we
note
have to
here? I had
abandon them.
literally that. I don't even know where it is. I gotta find it somewhere. Why can't I read today? Oh yeah, here it is. Why does this fucking show have a problem with sticking with one ship?
Yeah,
Like
we should go back and count many how many
every
modes of
fucking episode,
transportation they've gone through.
bro, every episode there's a
That's
new
what I'm
ship.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Is that like normal to Dragon Ball? Like, is that just a
No.
thing that I'm not picking up on?
Okay, so kind of, but not really. Like no, but Toriyama loved RIP to the great one. He loved drawing vehicles and ships
Oh,
in his
okay.
in his in his covers for each manga cover art. So,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe he didn't draw them, but he wanted to have a different influence on ships in each one of them. So maybe this is kind of an homage to
A
there being a
nod.
different ship,
Okay.
yeah, to it.
I
So,
can I can handle
like,
that better than like that
yeah, I don't
I
know.
like that explanation better than like their vehicles like breaking down so that it can like spur the plot along because
I
like
hate
every
that.
time, yeah, I don't like that because every time that like the plot has moved is because their fucking ship breaks down. Like have you noticed that? Like
I
it's
have.
like a plot mechanism to like spur things on because nothing else is happening until not until this episode, but I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I like that better as like an homage to Toriyama than how do we get them to this next point? Oh, I know.
I'm just gonna
Let's
tell
take
you, I don't
away
think
their ship.
I don't think that they're doing it because of that, but it could
I
be. I
like
don't think
that
it's an
better though.
homage.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
go
think
with
it's an
that.
homage to them because the show was made already prior to his death, so it was like he's doing
Yeah,
it for himself, so whatever. But yeah, I mean the
that's gonna be
plot
in my
literally
noggin.
moves along. Yeah, that's my headcanon. Uh
Yes, the
so
head canon of the
after so after they are arguing about the ship not working, another ship shows up. Hibis's ship shows up, and I thought it was really cute that Vegeta steps like they're in the middle of a fight, like a fight. They're not really fighting; they're just playing fighting. But Vegeta like just steps in front of Bulma in case something
mm-hmm.
comes out of the ship, and I thought that was really cute.
That was cute.
He was like, "Hold on, babe, let me take care of business." Like, so I thought that was really cute. Little Vegeta Bulma cuteness I'll always stand for. So yeah, Hibis. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. I have not heard. I haven't watched the English dub. We're watching week to week for obviously watching the Japanese debuts, so we're not able to hear what they sound like in English. So Hibis, Hibus, I don't know, but he looks like one of the characters from what's that? What's that game? Gang Beasts? Look like a character from Gang Beasts. Like he why did he show up? Why did they make his entry so like menacing? Like he was
I
entering
like
the
him.
fray.
He's kind of
He
funny.
was he was like, "Hello, I am here. Let's not waste time. I have a salon appointment.
I
It's
relate to
time to
him. He's
go."
kind of funny.
Um, so then we cut
He's
back.
very like monotone.
He is, and I want to hear what his English. I'll probably we might rewatch this in English. We'll see if, as we go on later. I know there
Yeah.
was a whole movie that came out about not a movie. There was like the first three episodes of the English dub were out in theaters recently, and
Oh.
people were complaining about the voice is of them. So,
Oh.
like, I don't know. I know Teen Goku or old Goku's young voice from like the 90s came back to reprise his role as young or her role as young Goku.
Mm.
I know that's not a complaint, but I've heard complaints about like Vegeta and like Piccolo.
Mm.
I don't know. I haven't heard it yet. I haven't looked it up yet. I
Mm.
haven't been that interested enough to do it. So maybe I'll do it this week. Who knows? We cut back to Goku eating some black balls called Mampuku dumplings.
Wow.
Um,
You really went in depth on this research here.
that they weren't research. That's what the subtitty said. That's all. I
Oh,
just read them.
sorry.
That's what they know. What? Thank you. I should.
Sorry, I just wasn't locked in.
That's just what the subtitles called them. Uh, but yeah, these dumplings, they're come on, our bit here is talking about the food. We need to know what they're called. That's our
You're right.
bit when it comes to
You're
Dragon
right.
Ball
This
Daima.
is our bet.
Every every week here we talk about the
The
new
people
demon
want to
food.
know. You're so right. I'm so sorry.
So this week it's called Mampuku dumplings, and they give the inflation kink people a whole new thing because they
Yeah,
inflate
that was
Goku.
that was one of the things I said too when we were watching this. I'm like, oh, the inflation king people gonna love this one. It's like eating 2 weeks worth of food like per ball. I
I
do
don't
like
know
how they
why
look though. I like the teeth.
they just look like they were burned balls. I don't know. That's what they looked like. There
They
wasn't
had little
really.
teeth. They almost remind me of like the bullets in uh or like the chomping things in fucking Mario Kart.
Oh, the bullet. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I know what those things are called. I don't know what they're called, but kind of, sort of. I don't know. I like the container they were in, but I don't know why they have a
Yeah.
million of them in one container if only one of them takes like 2 weeks worth of food. I think that's kind of. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know how Demon Realm like uh serving sizes are. Who knows? I don't know. They gave Goku 18 burgers and he ate them all. So who knows what the fuck is going on in this show?
Speaking of burgers, I did find out. So
Oh yeah.
I had seen like a TikTok or like a post on like social media about it, and I wanted to make sure that it was like legit. Um, so I did. And so apparently like Goku eating burgers like turn it I don't know if it like turned into this or if it was added into the show as like a marketing like mechanism for it. But TLDR, there's like a meal, like a Dragon Ball Daima meal, McDonald's meal in Hong Kong, like where they have like burgers that are kind of reminiscent of the one that Goku eats in the previous episode. So it's not super out of place, but it is kind of like a marketing thing.
It's the same thing as those disgusting black burgers they had at Burger King.
Yeah,
Like I'm not sure if you remember that those weird
the
gross
ugly
burgers.
patties,
Those are so gross.
the
I had one
nasty
of them.
patty.
I had
You
one of
would have
those.
you
There.
absolutely would have had one of them.
I went literally down. They were only serving them at like three locations in Chicago, and I went to the one downtown to go try it. It was disgusting. It was the grossest thing I've ever
They
had.
looked gross.
It tasted like
It looked
it
like the
tasted like
nasty
how
patty.
you've had Frank's hot sauce before. It tasted like how Frank's hot sauce would be in beef form. I don't know how to explain it. It just It just didn't taste right. So, um,
That
yeah,
burger ain't right.
that burger ain't right. Speaking of less father son relationships, Goku literally said that he
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
wasn't there. He so Pansy, they're talking. It was like a throwaway sentence. Pansy was like, "I can't believe you're a father. How did you raise a son?" And he was straight up like, "I don't know. I wasn't there."
He's like, I had no part of that. That was insane.
Okay, I just want you to tell you. For all background, I always say this every episode, but you're becoming a not normie for Dragon Ball. You're learning here as we go. But we
Yeah,
just
I'm
finished the
like
Saiyan
semi
saga.
not normie. Yeah.
Yeah, so you just finished the Saiyan saga, but like that's just to get preference. I've been watching the show forever. Like I literally just picked up a Dragon Ball uh, manga. But like I've been watching it since I was a kid. I know I've watched all the series, and I'm an insane. I watch what ifs for Dragon Ball. I'm crazy. I could not believe the source material of, and I know this isn't like a manga thing. I cannot believe the source material admitted that their main character was a do-nothing father. That is insane to me. That is insane to me. Just like
Yeah, no, that
I
was
know.
yeah.
Like I know it's not gonna be picked up anywhere, as in like, and maybe I mean it kind of has. I've seen some traction about it, but like in a funny sense. But could you imagine getting the okay from Akira Toriyama to be like, yeah, Goku really wasn't there. That's crazy to me. That's so crazy. All the people who fight and say that Goku's a good father. Oh my God, this clip will run in your fucking nightmares now. Like, holy shit. You know who was there for Gohan the whole time? Piccolo. Piccolo's always been there.
Yeah, it's like as somebody that
Crazy.
is only ever interacted with Dragon Ball through word of mouth, I like knew that it was kind of danced around that Goku was not there for Gohan. And that it kind of like was never really like said explicitly. But in
Yeah.
like satire or like joke stuff that we've interacted with like Dragon Ball Abridged, they do say that like yeah, Goku's deadbeat dad. And like watch like at me myself watching this, I'm like, yeah, he kind of is like a deadbeat dad. Like he was not really there for Gohan. Um, so to kind of like have not Gohan, Goku himself say like, yeah, I wasn't there. That's my kid,
Crazy.
but yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Crazy. I just like I know I'm trying to picture it as in, Japanese culture wise, where it's like a lot of them are very, not conservative, but just like it's culturally different, where it's like the man will be a part of the family, but like won't be there emotionally. That's for the women, and that's what the women do, that sort of thing. But it's like they don't disappear. They're not in their child. Like they're there, but they're not there. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like, and I'm not saying obviously there are tons of things that are different. I don't know. I've done such a deep dive on like Japanese culture. Like I've ingrained myself in like learning about this kind of stuff. So it's like it's just crazy that they would admit this. Like that their main character is a deadbeat. That's insane. That is just insane. Like as from like a PR perspective too. It's like you want to admit that in your show? Like nobody was reading that and was like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't say that. You know what I mean? That just there's no maybe the subtitles were written wrong. I don't know, but like that I've now watched the episode twice and they said the same thing twice. So it's crazy that they said that.
It's definitely like interesting for sure. Like in regards to like culture, like you said, and just kind of like what that type of admittance does in terms of like speaking about strength. Cause like I think that shows a lot of like emotional and like kind of like I'm not saying that Goku's mature by any means because this dude be making poop jokes like every
Yeah.
2 seconds, but like it does show a lot of like emotional maturity to be like, yeah, I wasn't there for my kids, you know? So that's very interesting also, just to kind of like have
Yeah.
that admittance, like that be a form of like strength since Goku's whole like thing is strength, you know?
Right. And I know you haven't watched Super, but That I'm gonna tell you right now. They don't do gonna go into any of that bullshit in fucking Super. Tell you right fucking now. They don't talk about any of that. He the thing is, like, okay, whatever. We'll just go into it since we're right here. Like my argument for Goku being a good dad is that when he was alive and when he was there, he was with his son, he was with Gohan. When he was alive, he interacted with Goat. He has another son, Goten, later on. Um, and he interacted with them the best he could when he was alive. This is a guy who grew up with no father. Um, I mean, if you want to count Master Roshi as a father, you can. But it's like, you know what I mean? It's like
You know, I get you.
it's hard to say because it's like he was dead because he was saving the earth so his son could have a life, you know?
Yeah, like, and I understand like that logic, especially because like we're watching Dragon Ball Z now, and like Goku was dead for the majority of what we've seen. So I get it.
Yeah.
Like I do see what you're saying, and I
And
kind of
but
agree
then
with you.
But then when he's there, like we have that moment which was interrupted by Vegeta, but like they have that
Yeah.
moment where he's like trying to connect with Gohan to be like, "No, we need you to do this, son." And
Hmm.
like he does that a lot with Gohan. You'll see as we go further on. But then there are moments where Gohan or Goku has absolute opportunities to go back to like Earth quicker, and you're like,
Hmm.
"Okay, that's a choice. He chose to do that."
Okay. Maybe
You
I'll
know?
my opinion will change as we
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah, so I don't know. My opinion still stays the same that like Goku tried. Could he have tried harder? I think so, but you could say that with anybody.
Hmm.
Anybody if you really want to do, what else was Piccolo gonna do? What Piccolo gonna say? No? Like, what else was Piccolo gonna do? He hangs out in deserts all day. Like, what do you want him to do? Like,
Piccolo's not a stepfather. He's the father that stepped up.
yeah, yeah, he kind of is. I mean, he doesn't hang out with Chi Chi. He definitely wasn't Mr. Steal Your
No,
Wife,
no, he was not
but
Steal Your Girl, but
But he was the cucumber who hung out with Piccolo with Gohan enough and gave him a bunch of cool fits.
lots of
Um,
trauma. Kinda.
kind of, not really. They learned
Not
from it.
kinda.
Yeah, sort of. Anyway, let's go back to the
Yeah,
Daima.
back to Daima.
Back to Daima. Yeah. So the police are after Goku for child support. No, the police are after Goku for being around here, and they track people by their collars, as we learned by
Yeah,
Pansy.
my they be calling ice on him. That was crazy.
Pretty much, they did. That's a future sight into foreshadowing to America. They they tell Goku to hide, and then Goku uses his instant transmission to hide behind Glorio and then run into the bushes.
Hmm.
There's a whole fight scene between Glorio, Shin, and the cops, and Glorio and Shin handle them like a couple of G's. But in the aftermath of the fight, we find out, guess what happens? Their fucking plane gets destroyed again, so they have to find another plane. But thank God there's just a plane that's, I don't know, hanging around the bush. So now we got another plane, but before they get into that plane, Pansy decides to shoot some beams of something into these guys to get rid of their communicators. I'm like, where do they get where's the communicators at? Is the communicators in their chest?
Yeah,
Is it
I
in
was
their
wondering
head?
that too.
I was like,
It's
what is she
on their
shooting them?
person.
She was shooting them with the cancer rays. She was like,
Yeah,
they're not gonna get back up. I want
yeah.
to make sure they stay dead. I want to make sure I'm sending a message. Anybody who fucks with Pansy dies in 2 to 4 weeks. Remember the name. Like, I thought that was kind of dumb that the communicators are like in their chest. I don't know. I felt like if they were just in their ears, just take them off and smash them. That usually does the trick. But Demon Realm. Um, And also, Shin gets rid of Pansy's collar, which was
Hmm.
like a big thing for her because everybody in the demon realm gets the collars on them and they grow with them as they age. Apparently, she's
Hmm.
had it on her body for her entire life. So she's
Yeah,
like,
since birth, and it grows with
yes.
them.
So she's 83. So since birth, she's had it. So that's kind of crazy. Good for her. Now she can crack her neck.
Ha. Get rid of the tan lines.
Timelines.
Put
There's
some lotion there, whatever.
There's a
Um,
tons of positives here. It won't get tracked by the police. Funny though, they could track you with the collar, but they didn't know that she was the one who was throwing grenades at them.
well, she had like a facial. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
whatever.
I get you now. Hmm.
So anyway, Shin mentions that his sister is like one of the bad guys, like it's that doctor, I forget what her name is. I'm just gonna say Doctor Sister Shin. Um, and he mentions that she has a gender, right? But in the last episode, we find out that they're genderless. They're just plants. So I'm kind of
I think
confused
it's
here.
like a choice. Like they go by what they feel the most comfortable with.
I guess. I guess. I
That's
mean,
the way I understood it because it doesn't seem um like Shin cares. I mean like they refer to him as a he, but I don't think he like cares,
right.
you
But when
know.
you look at Shin, he looks like a dude, right?
He seems pretty androgynous to me.
Okay.
Me to
Okay.
me
Well,
personally. Me
uh,
personally, he seems very androgynous, but I'm gonna call him him because they refer to him as him.
right, right. Okay. So his sister, don't remember what her name is. Sorry. They
His
show it like
sister his sister appears like a woman because she has titties. So
his sister has huge boobs. That plant
so
has huge boobs.
so and maybe she like did that herself because she's like I fit as a woman.
That's
It's
okay.
they're
Okay.
fucking
Okay.
aliens. It doesn't
Okay, so
matter.
you get what I'm saying though. There's this, if you're gonna say you guys are born from trees, why did they show? Also, I looked up last week. Why did they show an umbilical cord onto a tree? I thought that was so odd. That was such an odd choice for this anime. Like they're like, he's from a tree. Don't forget this. We're also genderless. And then the next episode, they're like, look at my sister. Like, like what the fuck is happening? Why did what? What? How do they do it? They're plants. I don't know. Questions for another
they're
day.
they're sentient. I think they have the right to choose what they align with.
Okay, so I know you don't know Dragon Ball, but in Dragon Ball, in
Yeah,
regular
I'm
Dragon
just
Ball,
going off my dome. What makes
so
sense to me.
this isn't me saying that you don't know because I don't know how they do it, but apparently the Mechians are from the demon realm now, right? Like so Piccolo's
Yes.
species are from the demon realm. And
Yes.
Piccolo was born from his father and
Yes.
he also had different he had siblings before and when he was born he was thrown up.
Cool.
Like Piccolo's dad was just like, I want a son. And spit him out and then threw him. I kid you not. I kid you not. That is what happened in he had like four siblings and I don't remember if they show the birth of each one, but each one he was like and then just spit them all out and they were all named different instruments. His brother was named Tambourine. He had another brother named Flute, and then obviously Piccolo is Piccolo. So I can only assume when they feel like making a new generation, they're like, "Ugh." Like that's my guess. That's how I think that they make new ones. New shins.
I
New
think
shins are like yeah.
I think like since they shown like an umbilical cord, like I think that kind of like makes sense because like the
No,
way he
the tree grows a mouth and throws them up. Don't
like
ruin this
that
for me.
like that made sense. Like they're getting like the purpose of an umbilical cord is to give like nutrients and like blood to the baby. So like it makes
Juice.
sense to be yeah, it gives the juice. So it makes sense to if they're getting like all of that shit from the plant for them to be connected to the plant, I guess. But again, they are aliens.
Okay, so that what makes it so what's even funnier now. So now that we get that you're here with this. So do you know who Beerus is?
Yes, question mark.
Okay, he's the cat. He's the cat in Dragon Ball. You've
Yes.
seen the giant purple
Yes.
cat. Okay, so
Yes.
If Shin dies, he dies.
Mm.
But you can get this title of he's destroyer of everything, right? Um, and you can get this title You can get it gifted to you. It's just like, hey, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Here you go. You could become a destroyer. It's not like you're born into this destroyer realm and you're just,
You're not born a destroyer. Destroyer is thrust upon you.
yeah, kind of. So now the confusing part of that is like, okay, so what the fuck does this plant have to do with me being alive?
Yeah, that do be a question I cannot
So,
answer.
so I don't,
I
so I
cannot
don't know.
rationalize in my noggin. Um,
So as you could tell, the endless questions that come from
got
him
some
calling,
splaining to do.
there's a lot there. I don't care about the gender thing. It doesn't matter to me. He could be whoever he wants. All I know is that she has boobas and she's a plant still. So I don't know. If she chose that life, good for her. We also learned that Shin's real name is Nahari.
Well, it was also significant that like only Shin species can remove the collars.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um
that too.
oh no, or like the spell is like like nobody knew the spell, but like anybody can say the spell, I think was what he was like kind of trying to
Yeah, it
say.
was like from his language, he's
Yeah, but it
able
was
to
from his
do it,
language. Yeah, that's what it
something
was.
like
Yeah.
that.
So
We
that
find out
was,
that his name is Nahari too, and he's
I
able
think it's
to
Nahare or something.
Nahare. Man, I don't know. I'm just guessing with this stuff. They just be dropping
They just
lore.
be guessing.
Seriously, I feel like what I'm doing is what they did in trying to determine what the fuck to do for each episode. They're like, we could give them a name. Why not? Why not? Who
I thought it was
cares?
pretty cool. Kind of like the name Nahare. I think it's pretty cool.
Nahare is cool. And then Goku's like, I'm gonna call you that from now on. And immediately is like, you know what? No. No.
he, I just thought it was so funny that he pronounced Nahare right the very first try, but he's been
Yeah.
calling fucking Glorio fucking Golderio the whole time. Found that really
What a piece
funny.
of shit. What a
Yeah,
piece of
he's
shit.
like he's such a bully. That was so funny. But
It's funny because he's like 50, right? So it's kind of funny. He literally gives off old man energy in the
yeah,
funniest of ways. He's
he's
making
just
poop
kind of like,
jokes.
yeah, he's like,
He's saying names
oh, I'm gonna
wrong.
take a shit now. Bye. Bye, Glorio. He's such a
See,
dad.
that's what I mean. Like that's so funny.
Goku's
Like
such a
that's
dad.
like that type of shit is so funny. Like I don't know. It's not funny because poop jokes are hilarious on their own. I think it's funny because like the way that Goku is a 50-year-old man just being like, yeah, I'm gonna go shit. You know what? It's time for shit in time. I'll see you later. Do you have any toilet paper, by the way?
He
Didn't
comes
bring any.
back. I'm hungry.
I'm a,
I want a snack.
yeah, it's just funny. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm too. I don't fucking know. Um,
Maybe I'm too.
yeah. So, anyway, the reason they're doing all this shit is get to the Dragon Ball to fight the Tamagami-sama. To get the Dragon Ball, we zoom back to Vegeta and gang. They have made it officially to Demon Planet 3. We cut back to Goku. He's eating some balls with mouths that have sauce on them. They didn't give
I
us a
like
name for it.
those.
Those look like the chomp chomps that you were talking about from.
I was confusing them. My bad. My bad,
Yeah,
gang.
yeah. Those look like the chomp chomps.
Yeah, I like those.
Though,
The chomp chomps. I remember
yeah,
looking at you and being like, "That's some demon food." I like those.
yeah, that was, yeah, the black charred balls were not fucking creative at all.
Yeah,
These
you're right.
balls with uh
Teeth.
mouths and teeth. Those looked alive at one point. So
Yeah, like
we got
those.
two foods in one in this episode. So I
Mm-hmm.
give them. We
Two
expect
balls in
two
one.
balls in one. Lots of balls. This week has been ball heavy. Uh,
This
yeah,
podcast is titled Ball Heavy.
ball. This is a ball heavy podcast. Yeah. So we also find out that 20 years ago somebody tried to this show is called Dragon Balls. They tried to get the ball. So many balls. Uh, some guy 20 years ago tried to attack the Tamagama and died. He had a big gun, apparently. I don't know. That's all the lore we're gonna get. We also find out that Dabura, the former Demon King Dabura, you haven't met him yet, but he's cool. He looks cool. Uh, he could not defeat a Tamagami. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna do this. I'm not a power scaler, but I'm gonna give it my best try here. So in loads of different I don't know, forms of media, they have leveled Dabra about a little bit higher than Super Perfect Cell. And Super Perfect Cell was a level just above Super Saiyan, same level, if not a little bit less than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, who was the pinnacle of power at that time. And it took uh, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, who had no training for 7 years, a little bit of effort to destroy Dabura. Okay? So the fact that Dabura could not defeat a Tamagami should put us around the same level as, like, let's just say a Super Saiyan 2. Okay? So that's going to be my explanation of power levels of where I think a Tamagami is. We've only seen Super Saiyan 1 Goku in this show. So
Hmm.
my
Maybe
assumption
we'll.
here is
Hmm.
that the highest level of power, this is also after the Majin Buu saga, so the highest pinnacle of power right now is Vegito. So, and that's Vegeta and Goku's combination, and they could turn Super Saiyan. We saw that in the Broly movie. Remember the Broly movie when they
Hmm.
combined?
Hmm.
So
I do.
we saw that. I mean, this is just for her. She hasn't watched it all. So, but like they've combined before. And in terms of individual power, the highest pinnacle power is Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now, we don't know because he's a kid if his body, his mortal body can handle that power because Super Saiyan 3
Hmm.
is a high level which takes a lot out and you need to have a lot of stamina and we
Hmm.
don't know
I
what his
see.
stamina level is in this
Hmm.
kid body. We knew
And
that it
like
took him a little bit to get there.
isn't the like gravity like more dense or something? Like it's harder for him to move around and stuff in the
Yeah,
demon world. Yeah.
and that could also have an effect on
Mm-hmm.
what he does. So I don't know if he'll be able to defeat the Tamagami. He might have to go. He might need to push his limits, and we'll see if Vegeta needs to help him out. They need to fight together. Uh, but yeah, that's kind of how the episode ends. We end it with Goku and the Tamagami standing off, and the next episode should be very fight heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I liked this episode. I thought this episode was pretty
Me too.
interesting. I liked a lot of it. I thought that uh it was the best find another ship episode that we've seen so far.
Find a ship simulator.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's fine. It's very reminiscent of like RPGs. You go from town to town, you fight some
Yeah.
dudes, you find a new thing, you move on to the next boss. It's fine. It's okay. I mean, I'm still gonna watch the show. I know a lot of people are dropping it now because we've gotten to a point where it's very much like, who
Where are we
gives a
going with
fuck?
this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we're finally getting to the point of where we're going with this. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's only taken us 8 episodes. I feel like out of the first 6 episodes, it definitely could have cut it down by at least 2 episodes.
I think
And
so too.
I'm not saying that by episode 5 you should be where we're at now, but I feel like because of the lack of information that they've given us, we've been so heavy on fucking Shin information in the last 2 episodes. I mean, it's cool. It's cool
Mm-hmm.
lore. I find it interesting. I like that, but I also just don't. I don't know. I feel like you could have figured this out a little bit sooner. Um, but it's fine. Whatever. I'm excited to see where to fight. I like the animation still. I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited to see with where they go with it in the next episode. Vegeta and everybody's gonna be together, so we get to see all those interactions. And yeah, I mean, we got. I think also the official count for the amount of episodes came out this week. I think it's around 24. So we got
Oh, it's gonna be
officially
long. Mm-hmm.
24 episodes. I mean, for a Dragon Ball series, this is not long. This is a one-off show, and every single Dragon Ball series has been at least 60 plus episodes.
Hmm. I
So
was gonna say, like, I forgot that this is just gonna be like a this is it. Forgot
yeah.
about that. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of all I got for this episode. You got anything else for this episode?
No, I mean, I'm happy that we're kind of like now in at a point where we know um kind of what's gonna happen or like can speculate where we're gonna go. Because in the other episodes, you really couldn't. it didn't seem like it was really going anywhere or going anywhere interesting, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So I'm kind of happy that we're in an area where we're like excited to see what's gonna happen because like the premise for me is really fun, like as a whole. So I'm glad that I'm finally able to like enjoy to the fullest extent what I'm watching. So yeah.
Cool, cool. Well, let us know what you guys think about Dragon Ball Daima, whether it's this episode or episodes before. Let us know in the comments below. And while you're down there, please leave a like, please subscribe. We enjoy interacting with you guys a lot. And we get a lot of comments and we like answering them. So yeah, for sure, leave them.